So I've got some reference images here. It's from Trials of Mana and also Pokemon, and I've got some like a bunch of other houses that I thought would be cool to have. Put in some, because RPG houses are usually pretty simple. Like you can see with these ones, they've basically got a plain, a basic base, and then some bits sticking out, and that's all tiled. So I've added some like simple ones like this, and then some ones with extra gables. So we can try that out. I don't really know how much of this reference I'm gonna use, I'm gonna be honest. This is really fucking tacky, but I sort of thought it was interesting with the veranda and all the different accoutrements, so we'll try that. Also, a funny thing is that these houses have shutters on the windows. Because I was thinking for my game, when I get back to making it, if I want to do a more low-tech, low fantasy, then they wouldn't have glass in the windows. But I completely forgot that like shutters exist. So something like this would be fine, honestly. So these are like the generic European houses with the stucco and the outside scaffolding. That's really just there for art reference, honestly. Not so much for building reference, like layout reference. I don't know. So I'm thinking of maybe, I was inspired by Jace's video where he did a house in pixel art, and I thought, yeah, I need to do that too because I've never really done buildings. So we could do that. So I thought maybe I'd start with something like this or like this, just a simple house, and then go from there. So I've noticed that these doors, they're about 16 pixels in width, which makes sense because that's like the size of your character. Then the height, like the height of the Pokemon one is smaller because obviously they're less detailed. They're more like top down in view, they're more chibi looking compared to the characters in Trials of Mana, so yeah, that'll be interesting, but they're about the same width. So I think we could start with that as like a scale reference and then go from there, but also, oh yeah, I mean this window is about half the size of the door, and it's the same there. And it's basically the same there. So the window is about half the size of the door, and it's raised up about half the height. Well, that does of course depend on the type of window. Like the windows here are slightly bigger. You can put like 2 windows in this space pretty much because there's like a gap, and then like this one, and it's about the size of the top half of the door. Also, I just noticed they have a mailbox. That's kind of odd, but okay. So I was thinking of doing like a modern house, but just like a simple one, like something cozy, like Jason in his video. So we'll see how this goes. Something else I want to mention about the roofs. Well, this one, and also the Pokemon ones, the roof is laid out horizontal, like the apex of the roof is going horizontally, whereas in these ones it's going vertically. Although I guess this one is going horizontally and this one is also going horizontally. It's just the bit coming out at the front is going vertically because it's that's one thing I really struggle with houses like The Sims and Planet Zoo and stuff, is I have no fucking idea how the roofs go together. I always struggle. I always have to look at fucking reference images. So that's something else. I don't know how many houses I'm gonna make here. I'm thinking maybe just one, but ideally I would like to like expand it out and have some more tiles and variants available that we can just cobble together. I don't really want to make an actual tile set out of this because I barely started the actual tile set I wanted to make. I was originally going to do a modern city, but someone already did that in that time, so let's just start, I guess. Where have I got? Why am I off the screen? That's why I wanted to shrink this window a little bit. Alright, so I guess we gotta go... Is this 16? I assume it is 16. It seems like it's about 16. Alright, so that's gonna be our height, the height of the door. I'm just gonna do a generic door. Interesting, I never noticed this before. But it seems like the doorknob is on the left side in the Pokemon references, but it's on the right side here. I guess that's a regional thing. I think doorknob on the right is what we have here, so I'm sticking with that. Yeah, this is probably off scale, but that's fine. We're just gonna see how far I can get from scratch. So this is more like the Secret of Mana doors, that it's thinner, and I think we're gonna go with this sort of scale, honestly. And then where to go from there? Well, I guess. Oh yeah, I kind of wanted to make it a brick house, I guess. I guess I'll just draw a box and see what happens. I can make the window a bit like this, so it's a bit larger than the door, than half of the door, but it still looks kind of interesting. I don't think I'll be able to replicate these windows very well. Like, not in an outline anyway, it's gonna have to be like shaded. I do kind of like how that looks, not completely, but it's fine enough, I guess. This is probably more detail than we could fit, honestly. I also gotta figure out where the light source is coming from, so this is just a straight, I guess basically in both of these, the light is just shining from the top. Although, with this one, the light is still shining on this part of the veranda. It's not a veranda, it's a porch. Oh my god, don't even capture my fucking cursor. There we go, I had to click on the window. So I'm referring to this part here, where there are shadows here, but not here. Whereas if the light is coming from here, then ideally it would be casting shadow on this as well. But I guess the light is coming from... You would think it's coming from this direction because of how bright these tiles are, but maybe it's not. Fucking. But yeah, something that Pokemon does a lot, like with its sprites specifically, is that it doesn't cast shadows where it would all the time. Like this little shadow under the lip of the roof, and these ones here where the roof comes out. But not always. Like this one, the roof doesn't come out. The roof doesn't overlap, so I guess there's no shadow there. But Pokemon just does whatever the fucking want. Like I've done so many sprites in Pokemon Star where there's no shadow on, like, the shadows behave very strangely on Pokemon sprites. They just do whatever they want. It doesn't behave like it should. So sometimes I'll just be like, oh yeah, I should add a shadow here because in real life there would be a shadow here because this part of the body is blocking the light. Pokemon doesn't do that. It just goes, nah, the light exists in a 3D space even though it's a 2D game. Or maybe it doesn't. Fuck, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, maybe the light is coming from this direction, but that would still not make sense why there's no shadow here. Fuck, I don't know. It's a mystery. So yeah, because this is a front-facing house, if we're gonna do this in the Pokemon style, then it's gotta come up this way. Oh, it is slightly off. And I guess it should come this way a little bit. And then this will be like the shadow of the roof. And then I guess what kind of tile? I kind of like this corrugate sort of look on this roof. I was originally going to brick and corrugate. I don't know if that really goes together. I mean, we could do like the regular tiles. Let's see. I mean, this is sort of a corrugate roof. It's not really, but I can't figure out how else to describe this roof. We just do like a metal plate. I never really thought about it that much. This is tiles. That's tiles, but going the opposite way. I guess like we could do tiles, yeah, but like shabby tiles like this. Maybe I could decide on colors. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the tiles in black and white. I do also kind of like how there's an outline around there. We could try and imitate that a little bit. Alright, so this is gonna be a red house. And then what color are the roof tiles gonna be? I guess we can go with gray, like red and gray, that could work. So we'll fuck with the colors later, but for now, let's just do something like this. Yeah, I don't know how easy it's gonna be to do white window frames with glass. I just thought about that. It's gonna clash. This is okay. It's not great, and it still doesn't come across as being white. Now, there's not enough contrast, it's not gonna work. Alright, grey window frames it is then. I do kind of like that. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but I do kind of like it. Hang on, I kind of like this. Hang on. I like that a lot. Alright, now let's add another one down here too. Pull it down and swap it to blue maybe? Gonna fiddle with it later. It could go a little bit more. Nah, we'll just do that. Alright, so the window pane is finally at a point where I don't hate it. I still don't really like it. Like, something about the light panes, the window panes don't look right. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm still not 100% happy with that. It'll do. That looks better. It's still not fucking great. But it's better. Let's have a look at our references. So they use kind of interesting colors here for the window panes. There's like they're just like grey, and this one is also grey and green. Then you've got regular blues and whatever the fuck this is. They're just all over the place, just like, yeah, whatever. I guess like the main issue is this color was all wrong. But it's a placeholder color, so that's fine. That's the fucking problem! That was the fucking problem! I forgot to add a shadow to the top of this. So it looked bad because the highlight was directly touching the shadow. Ooh, that looks so much better. Delicious, okay. It took me looking at the door to realize that. I'm like, hey, hang on a minute. We don't need to put the bottom in here, the bottom is implied. Oh, do I need to put a bottom on the door? I mean... I mean, it sort of blends, with the Pokemon ones, it sort of blends into the bottom of the thing. Although it seems like often there's like an inset, a slight inset where the door is, which would make a bit of sense. So, I mean, like, I guess I could do it either way. Whereas with this one, there's definitely a gap underneath the door. But that is like a shitty medieval door. So like... this one doesn't really have a gap under the door. But it's also got a lintel, so... there we go. I feel like this still needs some shading though. Which is gonna be fucking rough. I mean, I could just do the fucking lazy Pokemon way. And just dithering like this is all I don't think it really needs any shading, to be honest. But you know, you always say that and then you're just like, oh shit, wish I added shading. So fucking lazy. And it looks terrible. Alright, we gotta dial this back a little bit. I do really like the implied texture on the mana doors, so we'll copy that. Just like some wood grain, and then we gotta dither that. But also, it also has like panels in the door, which I guess we kind of want. Yeah, you know what? I do like that. That adds some texture to the door. This is supposed to be a modern house, and I've just got this fucking terrible looking door. Although, I guess I didn't put a window on the door. And try it again with windows this time. Although this is gonna look fucking atrocious. Just one window. We're only gonna be able to fit one in here. You don't want to add too many of these disconnected dots. Like a little bit could add texture, but this is too much. Okay, so I mean, this is not great. For some fucking reason, I still haven't mastered dither. Yeah, I just use the fucking dither tool all the time. I mean, it's so good, but like, I clearly don't know what I'm doing. It's a fucking door. It doesn't need that much texture. I'm just keeping it like that. Then we can have like an implied brick texture. That works. And that's kind of enough. I mean, maybe a little bit in like the top quarter or something. Alright, let's get a highlight color. I mean, I do kind of like how this looks, but maybe it needs a little bit of highlight. I can't believe this is taking me a fucking hour. What the hell? No, that looks way worse. I think that top part might be too much. Or just in the wrong place. Tiles, you want a grey tiles, but it'll probably have to be a grey-green sort of color. Like this. That looks okay. I'm just copying the ones from Mana, honestly. Alright, then I guess you do another layer under that. You know, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's scuffed. I gotta tell you, it does not look good. And I think I know why. I need to like layer it in actual layers instead of having them all line up like that. It still looks fucking terrible. Alright, let's start again, I guess. It's not 100% there, but I think it's pretty good. It fits perfectly too. Hey, that looks alright, yeah. I mean, it's not 100% there, like, the colors could use some work. But I'm pretty happy with that. On the roof. I still kind of like the lining that they have on this one, so we'll do that. Now, it does bug me that this is off by 1. But oh well. Not bad for something I just eyeballed. Alright, so... an hour in, I think we're almost done with this fucking thing. It doesn't look quite right though. Maybe because these have shadows and this also has shadows. It's gonna need a shadow. The shadow is not right. I guess in a game context you wouldn't need to add the shadow because the engine would do it. Although I guess there's one here. But it's not clear what happens when it hits Oh, it's just straight? I guess that kind of works. I can't believe this took an hour and a half. I'm used to being so much quicker. But I guess when you're working on sprites, it's easier. This is something new, alright. I'm kind of happy with this as it is though. Alright. Well, that's my journey of making the house.